Hi friends, hope all are fine. We'll start marketing basics part 2. Okay, so in last topic we had covered product. So we'll discuss on the pricing, right? So for every P, when you are deciding the strategy, you will always have to consider the competition, because whatever price you are considering for your product, so what is your competitor price? Because if you are not aware of the competition price and you are considering the price which is more than your competition, okay, in that case customer will go with the competition, okay. And if your price is very less than the competition, in that case you will get the business, but you are losing the value because you can get more. So you'll always have to consider the competition, okay. So pricing, so what is your least price for that product or service? What type of discount structure you have, what discount you are providing to your end customer in case there is no any intermediaries involved, and what type of discount you are providing to your intermediaries, like you will have super stockists, you will have stockists, you will have dealer, you will have retailer. Then you should have the pricing and discount structure for each and everybody, because every intermediary will have to get the benefit from your product, right? For example, if your product price is 100 rupees, okay, for you will be 115, and for your end consumer that price will be 120, because whenever you are considering the pricing, you will have to consider the cost of each and everything, including your inventory as well as your transportation cost, okay. So there are so many factors to it while considering the cost. That is different topic altogether, and I'll certainly touch upon that topic in a different lecture. Okay, what type of allowances you are providing to uh, your distribution team so that they are pushing your product? Okay, payment period. Now the payment period is different for uh, marketer to consumer, and payment period is different for marketer to intermediaries to consumer, because if you are selling to consumer, okay, so in that case who is your consumer, what are his payment structure strategy, how strong he is in the market, okay. So this will decide the payment term. For example, you are in B2B business, okay, you are selling capital items to one of the major EPC contractor, right? So he has already dictated his payment term that he will release the payment within 45 days. If you want advance, you'll have to give the ABG. If you want payment early, you will have to give more discount. It again depends whether he is accepting the discount or not. Because once he laid the payment term, he will go with that only. Okay. How he will accept your term if your product has a monopoly? If he is not able to get same product in the market with the competition, then and then he will change his payment term, or else he will not change the payment term. If you are the FMCG producer, right, you are selling the fridge to your end consumer, so your product will go from the intermediaries and then it will go to your consumer. So for you, your customer will be your distributor or your dealer, okay. So you will have payment term in between him and you, right? Second, your distributor or dealer or retailer has a different payment term for him to consumer, because you are not in touch directly with the customer or consumer, okay. So in that case, financial organization also plays a vital role, because nowadays financial intermediaries are offering a credit term to customers so that they are able to afford to purchase a product. For example, if somebody has to purchase a 1 lakh rupees TV, okay, flat TV, he do not have the money right now, but he has to purchase it. So what he will do is he will go to retailer. The retailer will provide him a discounted price, plus retailer will give him an option that, sir, this is finance provider, you discuss with this finance provider, you give your document to this finance provider, okay, and once your that small loan is approved, uh, he will give you, like, you will have to pay this payment within 10 to 12 months, okay. So In that case, customer also thinks that, okay, yeah, I do not have to pay it immediately. Certainly I will have to pay some amount of interest, but I am getting that TV immediately. I don't need to wait for another 10 to 12 months. Okay, so in that case, customer will get satisfaction by purchasing a product. Retailer gets a satisfaction by selling a product. Financial organization gets interest as a revenue for them. Okay, and the marketer or manufacturer also get a business. Okay, so this is basically a chain, and in that chain everybody gets benefited. Okay, promotion. So what type of promotion strategies you have? This is basically communicating a value of your product or service to your customer, so that he will get more educated about your product and it will help him to take a decision immediately. Okay, so sales promotion, what type of sales promotion strategies you have? What type of advertising strategies you have? Like, there are so many platforms nowadays in digital marketing, through which marketers are advertising their products. For example, Facebook, for example, LinkedIn, for example, YouTube. Okay, so these are cheaper platform as compared to earlier marketing platforms, right? Yes, marketers are still using TV as a platform. Marketers are still using print as a platform. Marketers are still using that moving marketing platform. For example, banners, for example, auto rickshaws. These are also used, but now your consumer is more involved in mobiles, more involved in internet. He is spending much of his time on mobile because of internet connectivity. So what marketers think is he can reach more he can reach more of his customer in a less price. Okay, so he will have to certainly target his customer base. Yes, there are backend platforms who provide such a type of services as well, that you will have to target such a type of customer. Okay, but the advertising cost gets reduced as compared to print advertising. Okay, Salesforce. What type of sales force you have? For example, if you are selling technical product, you should have a strong, technically strong sales force who knows that product better. Okay, what type of public relations strategies you have? Public relations, nowadays called as marketing communication. The role of marketing communication is to build very good relations with stakeholders. Now, the stakeholders are of two types. One is internal stakeholders and another is external stakeholders. And every stakeholder has a direct or indirect role to contribute towards organization success or organization revenue, I can say, or profit. Okay, direct marketing. What type of direct marketing strategies you have? How you are reaching your customers directly? Okay, place is a distribution strategy. Okay, so what type of channels you have through which you are selling your product to your end customers? Okay, what coverage you are considering? Like, for example, if we consider any Marathi newspaper, so the coverage for that Marathi newspaper will be Maharashtra only. Okay, what type of product assortment you have here? The assortment is very deep word. Like, you have product depth, you have product width. For example, if you are considering any multinational FMCG companies who is into soaps, so they have so many types of soaps, like baby soap, they have detergent soap, they have uh, male soap, they have female soap, they have soaps by considering the skin criteria. Okay, so these are basically product assortment. Location, what type of location you are considering, right? Inventory, what type of inventory strategy you have? Because if your product is moving from manufacturer to consumer and there are so many intermediaries are involved, so you should have a strategy to carry the inventory at each stage, so that your customer will get product on time. What type of transportation you are using? Because transportation has a major cost involved in it, and which is also loaded in your product price. Okay, so there are basically three types of transportation: your road transport, your sea transport, and your air transport. Okay, So this is about 4 P's. Here the extended P's are not mentioned, but we'll discuss on that. One is people. People are the major touch point to your customers, right? So they can make or break relations. So you will have to consider your people. You will have to take care of your people so that they will run your business and they will generate profit for your organization. Processes. So if you are talking about the intangible product called as a service, where the manufacturing, or I can say production and consumption takes place at a time. Okay, for example, you're going to the hotel, right? So you booked a hotel and you're staying in a hotel for 2 3 days. So the service has been created and service has been consumed at a time. So in that case, marketer has to take care of the processes so that customer will get a feel of lavishness in terms of hotel business, I'm saying. Okay. Physical evidence. Again, physical evidence is to tangibilize the intangible of service part. For example, again, I'll take an example of hotel again. If your customer enters your hotel and he will get a feel of lavishness, so he will certainly book a room in your hotel. Okay. So this is basically a physical evidence which is showing to customer that this is a lavish hotel, this is a 5-star hotel. Okay. So now we'll discuss about 4 A's of marketing. So these are again related with 4 P's. Acceptability related to your product. You have created a product, you are selling that product to your customer, but whether it is acceptable to customer, you did extensive marketing research so that you came to know that these are the customer requirements or customer problems, and this is your solution. Okay. Now, this solution is already manufactured or developed by your competitor. So what are the specification parameters of your competitor has, and what are the specification you have, right? So customer is already using your competition product. So how customer will take a decision so that he will consider your product as compared to competition. So whether it is acceptable to him is the extent to which acceptability is the extent to which a firm's total product offering exceeds customer expectation. Here the point of difference plays a major role, which I covered in earlier lecture. Affordability. You have a product, right? You are selling the product in the market, but whether it is affordable to customer, again, this is a part of marketing research, right? So you have a product, you have a price X, your competition has a price Y. Customer will certainly compare the price. Okay. So you'll have to consider the pricing strategy accordingly. Accessibility. This is about the distribution strategy. Whether your product is accessible to the customer, right? The extent to which customers are able to readily acquire the product. It has 2 dimensions: availability of product and convenience. For example, you are a biscuits manufacturer and you have a very good distribution strategy that every store has your product. Okay, now there is a situation where customer requires a biscuit, and customer went to the nearest shop, but he came to know that your product is not available. I'm talking about biscuit, and your biscuit is available 1 kilometer away. So whether he is really interested to go 1 kilometer away to purchase your product? No. So the convenience for him is your product should be readily available in the nearest store of your customer. If it is not available, he will go to another brand. He will purchase another brand, but he will not go 1 kilometer away to purchase your product. So you will have to think accordingly. Awareness. Awareness is basically a communication strategy through which you are communicating your product value to your customer. Awareness is the extent to which customers are informed regarding the product's characteristics, persuaded to try it, and reminded to repurchase. This is basically a promotion strategy. It has 2 dimensions: brand awareness and product knowledge. Brand awareness. This is basically a intangible part of your product. Okay, and product knowledge. So if your customer knows about your product well, he will be able to take decision immediately. So this is a highlighted and important part. Product. which mainly influence the accessibility. Okay, product which mainly influences acceptability, the price which mainly influences affordability, the place which mainly influences accessibility, and the promotion which mainly influences awareness. We'll discuss about marketing management tasks. So first is developing marketing strategy and marketing plan, capturing marketing insights. So how the marketer will capture the marketing insights? Obviously through marketing research. Okay, connecting with customers, building strong brands, creating a value and delivering the value. Both are different. You have to create a value uh, through the inputs you got in the marketing research, and you have to deliver that value. Communicating the value, you have to communicate the value so that customer will come to your place to purchase your product. Conducting marketing responsibly for long-term success. So what is this value delivery process? So it has the three parts, important parts: value creation and delivery in three phases. Starts before the product. Value creation and delivery start before the product. So thinking process starts before the product. So choosing the value is the homework marketers must do before any product exists. Okay. So you will have to do extensive marketing research so that you can choose the value, right? STP here is a segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Here one part is also there: segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and positioning. So what is segmentation? Once you have created a product, so you will have to consider the segment where you can sell the product. After segmenting your part well, then you will have to target your customers through your marketing strategy or communication strategy. Once you target your customers and you are selling your product to those customers, now the marketing or the competition has created a major impact in your sales, right? So you will have to differentiate your product as compared to your competition so that your customer come to know that you are better than your competition, right? And positioning, once you have differentiated the product, you will have to position yourself as a strong brand in the market, right? So now we'll come back to the value delivery process, providing the value. So how you are providing the value to your customer, right? And last but not the least, communicating the value. So you are providing the value, but you are also communicating the value to your customer so that he is able to understand that he is getting the value by purchasing your product, right? So what are the core business processes? This is different part as compared to value delivery process. The core business processes are: first is the market sensing process. Okay, gathering and acting upon information about the market. The market sensing process, gathering and acting upon the information about the market. Second is the new offering realization process, researching, developing, and launching new high quality offerings quickly and within the budget. Third is the customer acquisition. Once you have created your offering, you will have to acquire your customer so that you will be able to sell your product in the market. So defining the target market and prospecting for new customer, right? Next is the customer relationship management process. Once you have developed your customer, you are selling your product to customer, but you have to think about the long term, because as you know that it takes more money to acquire new customer as compared to maintain the relationship with the existing customer. Second point is you are getting more business from existing customer if you have maintained the good relationship with him, right? So the building deeper understanding, relationship, and offerings to individual customer. The fulfillment management process. This is basically a execution process wherein receiving and approving orders, shipping goods on time, and collecting the payment. Okay. So what is core competency? Core competency is very important nowadays because the competition is high, and if you do not have core competency, you won't be able to survive in the market. The reason is, if there are 100 manufacturer of a same product, how you will differentiate your product? Because Please consider your market is limited, and in that market, 100 manufacturers are selling the same product without any differentiation. So you should have some core competency so that you are a differentiator for yourself, and customer thinks that you have difference as compared to your competitors, and you are getting a business. Okay. So what is core competency? So it has a three characteristic. It is a source of competitive advantage and makes a significant contribution to perceived customer benefits. What is competitive advantages? Competitive advantage is the advantage which your competition is not able to copy very easily, right? If they're able to copy it very easily, then it is not a competitive advantage. Yes, they might copy it, but after so many years, it took around 10 to 15 years for the company B to copy company A's product features. But in these 10 to 15 years, company A has acquired a major market share. Company A has reaped the benefits out of that competitive advantage or core competency. Okay. So it is not easily copyable, right? So it is a source of competitive advantage and makes a significant contribution to perceived customer. It has applications in a wide variety of markets. It has application in wide variety of market. And third point, which we already discussed, it is difficult for competitors to imitate. And even if they are able to imitate, it will take a lot of time. For example, in mobile market, there was no camera exist, right? So there was a company who developed a mobile with inbuilt camera. It was very costly, right? So company has considered pricing strategy as a scheming pricing. Scheming pricing means scheming pricing is a pricing where okay. So core competency. We did discuss on core competency. Okay, and core competency, the third point we are discussing, it is difficult for competitors to imitate. Okay, so this we already discussed. The new marketing realities. These are the new marketing realities. So there are three major market forces. One is the technology. You know how the technology is pushing the market. If you consider the mobile market, if you consider the TV market, if you consider the any technology product market, everything is changing day by day. Okay, and it is pushing the market and also the customer. Globalization, how the globalization is changing the market, right? What was there before 2 years, and now what is the situation of globalization? Like, for example, before 15 to 20 years, it was very difficult for the marketers who are in different countries to sell the product in different countries. But because of globalization, it is very easy for them to sell their products in different countries, right? Social responsibility. This is very important factor nowadays because marketers think that apart from gaining a profit, marketer has social responsibility towards the environment, towards the customer, towards the mother earth. Okay, and accordingly they work. For example, there are organizations who are providing free education to rural areas. This is one of the social responsibility they are performing as a responsibility towards the as a responsibility uh, towards the rural area or as a responsibility towards the society, I can say. There are two market outcomes because of that: new consumer capabilities and new company capabilities. Okay, new company capabilities. So what are the four fundamental pillars of holistic marketing? We already discussed holistic marketing. So one is relationship marketing, second is integrated marketing, third is internal marketing, and fourth is performance marketing. Most large companies consist of four organization level: corporate level, divisional level, business unit level, and product level. I'll repeat it again: corporate level, division level, business unit level, and product level. Corporate headquarters is responsible for designing a corporate strategic plan to guide the whole enterprise. To guide the whole enterprise. Corporate headquarters is responsible for designing a corporate strategic plan to guide the whole enterprise. It makes decisions on the amount of resources to allocate to each division as well as on which businesses to start or eliminate. Each division establishes a plan covering the allocation of funds to each business unit within the division. Each business unit develop a strategic plan to carry that business unit into a profitable future, investment to profitable future. Finally, each product level, product line or product brand develops a marketing plan for achieving its objective. Okay. The marketing plan is the central instrument for directing and coordinating the marketing effort. It operates at two levels. One is at strategic level and another is at tactical level. The strategic marketing plan lays out the target markets and firms' value proposition based on an analysis of the best market opportunities. Right? The strategic marketing plan lays out the target marketing tactics, including product features, promotion, merchandising, pricing, sales channels, and service. The strategic planning and implementation processes. This is a framework which allows marketer to plan and implement the process, right? So what is planning? Corporate planning, it is going down. Corporate planning, division planning, business planning, product planning. Okay, this is planning. Then implementing, organizing and implementing. Okay, after that, controlling. In controlling, measure the results, diagnose the result, taken corrective action. Again, it is going to planning. So whatever action has been taken is going to plan. This cycle gets continued. Okay. Corporate and division strategic planning. So define the corporate mission, establish strategic business unit, assigning resources to each strategic business unit, assessing growth opportunities. Okay. So what does it take to be a successful CMO? What is CMO? Chief Marketing Officer. Okay. I'm again repeating it. I took this data from the book Marketing Management by Philip Kotler, who is called as a marketing guru, and the book is called as Bible of Marketing. Okay. So this is a marketing memo. What does it take to be a successful CMO? The challenge Chief Marketing Officer face is that success factors are many and varied. Success factors are many and varied. Here, the revenue is not the only success factor. There are another success factor as well, which marketer has to consider. CMO must have strong qualitative and quantitative skills. They must have an independent entrepreneur attitude, but work closely with other departments. And they must capture the voice of consumers, yet have a keen bottom line understanding of how marketing creates value. This is very much important. They must have capture the voice of consumers, yet have a keen bottom line understanding at how marketing creates a value. Yes, you should always support your customer, but you should not forget that it should create a value to the organization. Two-thirds of top CMO think return on marketing investment will be primary measure of their effectiveness in 2050. One survey asking 200 senior level marketing executives which innate and learned qualities were most important yielded these answers. Innate qualities: risk taker, willingness to make decisions. You should have problem solving ability. You should be a change agent. Change agent in the sense that marketing environment is changing day by day. Challenges are changing day by day. So you should change accordingly so that you will be able to take correct decisions. You should be result oriented. Learn qualities: global experience, multi-channel expertise, cross-industry experience, digital focus. This is very important nowadays. Market is going towards digital. Operational experience. Okay. Marketing expert George Day and Robert Malcolm believe three driving forces will change the role of CMO in the coming years. Predictable marketplace trends. How the prediction happens because of the data. The changing role of the C-suite. Uncertainty about the economy or organizational design. They identify five priorities for any successful CMO. Act as a visionary for the future of the company. Build adaptable marketing capabilities. Win the war for marketing talent. Tighten the alignment with sales. Sales and marketing should go hand in hand. Take accountability for returns on marketing spending. Okay. Perhaps the most important role for any CMO is to infuse a customer perspective in business decisions affecting any customer touch point, right? Increasingly, these customer insights must have global focus. As one top executive search firm leader said, tomorrow's CMO will have to have global and international experience. You can do it without living abroad, but you have to get exposure to those markets. It opens your eyes to new ways of doing business, increase cultural sensitivity, and increases flexibility. Okay. So now we'll discuss about product oriented versus market oriented definition of a business and how it differentiates from product oriented to market oriented. We already discussed in earlier part that now the market is changing towards the product oriented to market oriented. For example, uh, instead of thinking about a product, you think about the value the product offering to a customer, right? So company name is Union Pacific Railroad. The product definition is we run a railroad. But the market definition is we are a people and goods mover. It's make a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. Xerox, we make a copying equipment. We help improve office productivity. Okay. Hess Corporation, we sell gasoline. We sell energy. Paramount Pictures, we make movies. We make entertainment. Encyclopedia, we sell encyclopedias online. We distribute information. Carrier, we make air conditioner and furnaces. We provide climate control in the home. So customer is not interested in the product. Customer is interested in the value. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. We'll cover rest of the part in marketing basics part 3.